People hate your eyes, dude.
They really do.
Wait, really?
It's very weird.
I posted a TikTok and someone was like, "I wish I never saw PFT's eyes," and it was the top comment.
I think it's just like it's like if I were to shave, if I were to be completely clean shaven, people would be like, "What the fuck?"
It's just concerning, like the way that conversation just went. And it's like people hate your eyes, dude, and then because like yeah, they really do.
I mean, they do. I see it. They're like, dude, why the fuck are your eyes out? On today's Part of My Take, we've got Coach O back on the show. Great to catch up with him. Talk a little Bengals, talk a little NFL playoffs, where he might be headed next. Vacation O. We get into all of it. We're going to preview the NFL divisional round. A great weekend of football ahead of us. And then we'll finish up, as always, on Friday with Fyre Fest of the Week. We are brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips, sportclips.com, or go download their app right now. You know what drives me crazy? Walking into a barbershop or hair cutter and guessing if there's a wait. Did you know at Sport Clips you can go to their website or app and claim your spot in line? Long wait, short wait, doesn't matter. You can see your spot on the list. That's the beauty of Sport Clips. They also know how to cut guys' hairs. Don't go somewhere else where they don't know how to cut a hair. Go to Sport Clips. They know how to cut your hair. And you can do whatever you want, and Sport Clips will send you a 15-minute text when it's time to arrive. Opt-in required message and data rates may apply, but it's beautiful. You don't have to wait in line. You get that text. You're ready to go. You sit down. You get the greatest haircut in the world. Sport Clips knows how to do it. You can download their app, or you can go to sportclips.com. Save yourself some time. Get an unbelievable haircut at Sport Clips. Do it today and tell them PMT sent you. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Sport Clips. Go right now, download their app, or go to sportclips.com, and you can get your virtual spot in line so you don't have to sit there and wait for your haircut. Today is Friday, January 21st. And boys, this divisional round, this weekend of football, this is the best weekend of football. We have 4 games ahead of us. All 4 games look like they could be incredible games. We are going to wash ourselves of the stink of Super Wild Card Weekend, which it's football, so we loved it. But let's be honest, it wasn't the best football. This is going to deliver, though. I feel it in my bones. We are now, PFT, you hate when I do this, but we have to do it.
No.
I mean, we have to do it. We're 7 games left of football this year. So enjoy it.
Are you including the Pro Bowl? You never remember the Pro Bowl.
I did not include the Pro Bowl.
You always forget the Pro Bowl.
7 games left, and embrace it, enjoy it, sit on the couch, take in every single second of it. It's going to be a great Saturday, a great Sunday. Getting excited for it. Great times, too. 3 o'clock, 6:30 on Sunday. Let's do it. Let's talk about these games.
Yeah, this is one of those weekends where I'm definitely not leaving my couch. I need an Apple Watch that's going to buzz and like automatically check in on me to make sure I'm okay. You know how your TV does that? That's how you know that you're having a successful day.
Are you planning on going swimming?
Is if your TV checks in to see if you're alive. Am I going swimming?
With the Apple Watch?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
If
Okay,
you
good.
get close
Thank
to
God.
dying, you'll have your Apple Watch.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to be so lifeless over the course of this weekend. I want to be so stationary.
They might make
my watch thinks I died.
That would be funny if that were the new ad, where it's like I'm sitting on my couch and 911's like, "What's your emergency? I haven't moved in 2 days because football's on."
You're like, this football action is so intense.
And then the 911 operator's like, "Sounds like you're having a great time."
And can I come over?
Yeah, Apple Watch.
And then they come over and they bring beer.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And then
there
you
we
have
go.
a nice hang.
I actually did your job for you, Apple.
I had a drunk idea, even though it wasn't a drunk idea, because I'm basically doing dry January for a little bit here. It was that, like, on a great weekend, like this weekend. Bubba, are you okay?
Well, basically dry January for a little bit is a funny
Yeah.
statement.
There's a
What does
lot
that
of
mean?
qualifiers.
No, the last couple weeks, I'm doing a hard reset.
Got it.
On my body, pretty much. I did have like a little
Except
bit.
for a little bit.
Yeah,
Friday
just-
nights,
yeah, right.
Saturday mornings.
Qualifiers count.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
whatever.
Mix a little bourbon in with your coffee on a weekday.
Yeah, I'm on a diet except for Saturdays and also like Tuesday afternoons and a little bit here on Fridays.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much sober almost.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had this idea, which is like we need to bring back on big sports weekends like this, spirit days during the week, just for our nation. because we need to all get on the same page. Remember, like Spirit Days before homecoming?
Yeah.
It would be like School Colors Day or whatever. Like have one day be Jersey Day, where just everybody is
You
going
just
around
want to dress up.
wearing a sports jersey. Or I'm a big advocate for Pizza Fridays too.
Yep.
Just we all get pizza.
Pizza Fridays are great. Doing
Pizza
anything
Fridays.
on a Friday afternoon where it's like tradition, like this
Yep.
is what we do, is the best.
And Sundays, where everybody has a nice ice cream sundae.
It's why I like to do donut Saturdays. Saturday morning, I look forward to it every Saturday morning. Go to the donut shop with my son, and we just get a shitload of donuts.
It's great, and I think that we need more things like that pull us together as a society.
I mean,
Spirit Days, maybe hire a clown for everyone.
it's just Football Friday. You just talk about football. That's really what it is.
Okay,
it's
today
beautiful.
I
Football
hereby
Friday.
declare
Yeah.
today to be Football Friday.
Talk about the game with someone in your office. Just be like, who do you like this weekend?
Make a new friend.
Yeah. So let's talk about who we like. Let's do Football Friday
All right,
now.
Football Friday.
All right, so first game, Bengals, Titans. Titans are -3.5 right now. I think the over-under is 47, I want to say. Quick note about this game. If you didn't already think Derrick Henry is like the most intimidating, badass guy in the world, he's going to be back, and he did his press conference earlier in the week, and they asked him how he felt, and he said he has a big steel plate in his foot, but otherwise feels good.
Yeah, that's pretty chill.
Like, what? Okay.
So,
Otherwise, I'm like I'm half robot, but otherwise I'm feeling fine.
So I saw Pro Football Doc tweet about that, and he goes, the thing about Derrick Henry's giant steel plate that he has in his foot is it remains to be seen whether or not he will be able to run 100% on that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, he's basically Voltron.
It's just like crazy. Like we complain if we get a fucking hangnail.
Yeah.
And he's got a steel plate in his foot, and he's like, yeah. Besides that thing, besides being half Terminator, I feel good.
As somebody that's had the same surgery Derrick Henry had, I wasn't able to jack off 8 weeks after I had it. So.
Yes, with your feet.
Yeah.
Little foot job.
No, this is going to be a fun game. I think so we're not supposed to respect the Titans. We're supposed to do Coach Vrabel that favor of keep overlooking them.
Yeah.
But I actually don't think that I respect the Titans this weekend. I think it's coming natural to me. I think that this is Bengals are giving me somewhat team of destiny vibes right now.
I'm fully respecting the Titans. I think the Titans are going to win this game. I think this is one of those spots where you always kind of forget, oh yeah, the 1 seeds, and I'm gonna basically contradict myself in a second when we talk about the Saturday night game because I want the Packers to lose. But the Titans are the 1 seed because they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Bills, they beat all the good teams, they killed the Rams, and now they're finally healthy. I know Julio Jones is not what Julio Jones used to be, but A.J. Brown and Julio Jones and Derrick Henry, I think the Titans are going to win. I think we're going to walk away from this game being like, oh, yeah, that's why they were the 1 seed. Rest. Vrabel off rest has been a really good coach. I'm respecting the Titans.
I think one thing we're all forgetting about Coach Vrabel, because he is, as LaFleur was talking to us, he's a giant dude. He's an intimidating guy. He looks like a meathead. He's actually sneaky, very, very smart.
Yeah.
He's one of the most intelligent coaches there is. And just because he's got like a giant, dumb-looking face that looks like he's going to, kick the shit out of you at any given time doesn't mean that he's not also incredibly intelligent. All you had to see was the showdown that he had with him and Bill Belichick, where they were both figuring out how to change time, how to alter the course of time. And Vrabel ended up beating Bill Belichick at his mind games.
Yes.
Like, he's a smart dude, so he's going to have some shit up his sleeve this week, and I'm predicting. Here's my prediction for this game: there's going to be a fat guy touchdown.
Ooh,
there's going to be a fat guy. That's it. They're almost.
Vrabel's got something planned.
There are almost too many fat guy touchdowns.
I also the Bengals are, I think, still banged. I know Trey Hendrickson cleared concussion protocol, but they lost a couple other linemen on the defensive side. I don't know. I think the Titans are going to be all up in Burrow's ass, and I love Joe Burrow. We'll talk to Coach O in a minute. We all love Joe Burrow. We're a Joe Burrow podcast. I think that Titans defense is getting slept on. I'm remembering the Titans. This is my weekend to remember the Titans. Hank, you like the Bengals?
I do like the Bengals. This is I love both. I love Vrabel. I love Joe. I kind of agree with PFT, though. Bengals do have a little bit of Team of Destiny vibes. That definitely could be just because we saw them play last week. We didn't see the Titans play.
Yep.
I'm fully acknowledging that, but also money line.
Moneyline.
Okay.
I love a plus sign.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I would actually feel worse about the Titans if they were playing like the Jets are the Texans. Because if you look at their schedule this year and who they played and who they beat all the good teams that they played.
Wait, didn't the Jets also beat the Bengals?
Yes, the Jets beat both of them.
That's crazy.
Yes,
yeah.
it's the Jets Bowl. But they beat the Titans beat the Seahawks with Russell Wilson. They beat the Colts twice. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bills. They beat the Rams. They beat the 49ers that game where they were down at half. Like, I don't know. I think they're just, for some reason, it doesn't compute in our heads that the Titans just might be a very good team. You know what I mean?
They are
like they could be in the.
I think Hank actually hit the nail on the head, at least when it comes to me and how I'm thinking about this game. It's the fact that I didn't see the Titans play last week.
Yeah,
and I did see the Bengals, and it's very easy even if the Bengals or if the Titans had played on Monday night, it's very easy to forget about the Titans by Sunday.
Yeah, they should honestly start changing it for the bye weeks, because I remember this used to happen to me every single year when it was 2 byes and you had 2 teams that didn't play. They should just post a score. Like, they should be like the Titans beat the bye week 35-7.
You
know what I mean?
The starters beat the practice squad.
Yeah, like just
74-0.
Just remind us, like, oh yeah, they're really good, because the reason why they have the 1 seed is they're really good.
An injury update, they actually came out of the bye healthier.
Yeah.
Than they did going into it.
And the craziest thing, like, if the Titans went to the Super Bowl, it would be a shock to everyone, right? But I think there's no reason why they beat the other 2 teams that they could go up against next week in the AFC Championship game. So I'm respecting the Titans. Now, this could be like the fatal blow for Titans fans. I feel like if they lose, I'm going to get a lot of the blame. I don't care. I'm remembering the Titans.
Yeah, I'm not. So I'll go ahead and give you that disrespect card that you can play on me. I think the Bengals, they are like a little bit – the only thing that concerns me about them is that they're definitely in a position where if you asked anybody on that Bengals team or anybody that's a Bengals fan, would you look at the season as a resounding success?
Yes.
If you won a playoff game and lost in the second round to the number 1 overall seed.
Right.
And you would say, absolutely. I don't know if like Joe Burrow would admit that, but I know at the start of the season, I think their over-under for wins was 5.5.
Yeah, and
I a little behind the scenes, I told him that because I told him I was taking the over on it, and he was like, I'm absolutely going to get you that over on that. But I don't think that at the time he was like, you know what? I think that we have a real chance here to do some damage in the playoffs. But now that he's here, I don't know. It might be one of those things where it's like he feeds off the moment.
But it is winning your first playoff game in 31 years as a franchise, and there's no letdown spots in the playoffs, but there has to be an emotional part of the game. It's what we talked about with the Bills, beating the bully, beating the Patriots the way they did. There has to be a small part of you that's like, it's not the exact same intensity of trying to get that first playoff win at home in front of your fans. Also, if you look at the game against the Raiders, like, that game was an even game. It's crazy to look back, but the Raiders had, they made a couple big mistakes that, fielding the punt at the 2 and the fumble that Derek Carr had. But, like, in terms of yardage and how the game went, that was a pretty damn even game. Mm-hmm. I'm remembering the Titans. That is what I'm doing. Anything from the couch, Jake or Billy? Any thoughts?
Titans have always been a wagon. It's just they've been injured and banged up this season.
Mm-hmm.
It will be awesome if Tractor Cito, like, if Derrick Henry comes out with a steel fucking plate in his foot and runs for 200 yards, it's going to be awesome.
He's lucky that it's a home game because you probably can't get through airport security with that, right?
No.
Only thing about the plate, I've been thinking about this a lot. Yes, he's healed up fast, but has his muscles adapted to the extra added weight of the steel plate? I'm not worried about the pain. I'm worried about the weight distribution on the foot.
Wouldn't that make you stronger though if you're walking around for the last couple of weeks with a giant plate in your foot? It's like you got some beans strapped up to your ankle that you're walking around with, building those muscles up.
Whoever wins this game, the media next week will be like, the NFL doesn't want the winner of this game in the Super Bowl because of ratings.
Yes.
Good point.
Yes.
So that's a good look ahead there,
absolutely.
Jake.
Yeah. Whoever wins this game, it's going to be like Bills or Chiefs is better for the
we
league.
don't want Tannehill and Burrow. You could say, I think Bengals would, if you were looking at just pure NFL #NFL rigged, like who do we want in the Super Bowl? You could make the argument Burrow with just being a up and coming superstar.
They want Josh Allen or Mahomes.
Yeah, they want Josh Allen or Mahomes for sure. But the Titans are definitely like in the list of, oh man, the NFL will do anything to make sure Ryan Tannehill doesn't start a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so going into this game, I would say that if this game is going to be NFL rigged one way or the other, it's going to be NFL rigged in favor of the Bengals.
Yes.
So get ready for that. We're predicting that.
Which is rare to say.
Roger Goodell does not respect the Tennessee Titans. It's basically like, what other teams could the Bengals get the weight of the thumb of the commissioner on? I would say if you're playing
over
against
the Saints, everyone over the Saints.
Everyone over the Saints, the Jets over the Patriots, probably, right, Hank? Hank, obviously.
Duh. Yeah. Maybe the Lions. No, the Lions would be a feel-good story.
Yeah, Lions would definitely be. Yeah, people would like
maybe
the Lions.
Texans
for sure.
Although you could be like big market. You could sell yourself on Houston. I don't know if you knew this, but Houston's the fourth biggest
city in the United States.
Yeah, we could do that game.
Maybe the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers.
No one cares about the Panthers.
Yeah. I saw. Didn't your former coach Pep Hamilton? Didn't he? He denied a request to interview with the Panthers.
That's my coach.
He's from Charlotte.
That's my coach.
Yeah, and he's from Charlotte. It's literally his hometown, and he's like, nope, no thank you.
He sees the writing on the wall. Pep's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He cut me. He knows football.
Yeah.
Okay, so he got invited to go interview for the Panthers job, and he said, well, let's see. It looks like Matt Rule's 100% going to be fired by the end of next year.
Yes.
So this seems like a real shitty job to take. I'll just wait 6 months, and then maybe you'll hire me in the not so distant future. But he'll have a job.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to work there.
It's just funny. I mean, I never. There was a Colts GM or Bears GM candidate from the Colts who took his name out of the hat, and I was like, smart move. It's a very smart move.
I was actually thinking about maybe dipping the pen and doing like a complete guide to a rebuild, because I feel like one thing you should do when you bring in like a new GM, new coach, you change everything. You should all commit a crime together.
So that you have to you're forever bound
together? You're forever bound together. Yeah. It's like
start a crazy email chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Send the most offensive memes you got. Like, unload them.
Everyone does it at the exact same time.
Yeah. It's like Ookie Cookie with a computer.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea, because then you can always just hold it over each other's heads and not try to backstab each other.
Yeah. I
one
feel like
piece.
That's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, one piece of blackmail per person. So like when you don't even have to commit it together. It's just you all show up, and part of your interview process is you have to hand over a piece of blackmail that they can then use against you.
Yeah, and then everyone gets locked up in the same safe.
Yep.
And then every time one of you guys dies, your key goes to the rest of the group until there's just one person left.
I like it. All right, so next game, Saturday night. Very excited for this game. Green Bay Packers, San Francisco 49ers. 49ers +6. Over-under is what? 47.5, I want to say. My computer's acting very slow.
That line,
do you have it for us?
That line moved, huh?
47. It's now back down to 5.5.
Okay.
It's been bouncing around. It feels like Fred Warner and Bosa are both going to play, right?
Yeah.
Bosa hasn't officially cleared concussion protocol?
My guess would be that he plays.
Okay.
And then on the Packers, they got two defensive guys. I think Zadarius Smith was one of them.
Yep.
And then somebody else that was questionable. But I think they're both going to be healthy.
I have a fun stat for you, because I basically went digging for stats to try to build up my confidence that the 49ers can beat the Packers on Saturday night. Since week 10, only 3 teams have averaged 7+ yards per play per pass attempt. It is the Green Bay Packers, 7.2. The Kansas City Chiefs, 7.5. The San Francisco 49ers, 7.7. Didn't think that. Because you think running,
does that
they have
count
been very
interception
efficient.
Yardage?
They have been very efficient passing the ball. I am a little worried about Jimmy G's thumb in the cold weather. But so again, I'm all these things I'm saying are very biased, because I've just tried to spin myself into a point where I'm like, yes, the 49ers are going to win this game. Week 3 when they played, remember, Deebo Samuel wasn't fully featured in the offense like he has been, and it was Trey Sermon, not Elijah Mitchell. Trey Sermon, not as good of a running back as Elijah Mitchell, and that game came down to the wire. That was Aaron Rodgers drove them for a field goal to win the game late when they were down 28-27. I just think the 49ers always play them well. They play the Packers well. We've seen recent history. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm excited for this game. I also will mention the Packers have a terrible special teams, and hopefully that bites them in the ass.
Yeah, good news if you're a 49ers fan. and especially a Mike McDaniel fan, their offensive coordinator, Wisconsin does have legalized recreational cannabis.
Okay.
So he's going to be good to go. Beautiful setup for them. I think like everybody's been saying it, but it's definitely true that the 49ers match up really well against the Packers.
I'm a little worried.
You know what part of it is, actually?
What?
Now that I'm saying, like, you know why I think they match up so well? Because I've got all those memories of Colin Kaepernick just, like, absolutely roasting the shit out of the Packers in Green Bay.
Well, it was 2 years ago, too, though.
And
remember the NFC Championship game when Jimmy G had to throw it 8 times and they beat him by, like, 1 million?
Yep,
so they have, like, the Packers. If you're a Packers fan, you absolutely are scared of the 49ers. Past history and the fact that the Packers can be run on, and that's what the 49ers are going to try to do. I think there's 2 games this weekend that come down to, like, both these teams are equally in great rosters, great teams, complete teams, and it's just a question, will the lesser quarterback make a big mistake? Like, it's this game and the Bucs-Rams game.
No, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do pretty well.
But like that's what you're going into if you're a 49ers fan. You're like, can we survive a Jimmy G calamity? Even though he's been playing well, he had the calamity against the Cowboys. I'm also a little worried. I feel like Kyle Shanahan, great coach, but also maybe not the best situational coach, like fourth quarter, making crunch time decisions. We saw it against the Cowboys. Obviously, we saw it in the Super Bowl against the Falcons, or the Patriots Falcons. I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit different this weekend going up against LaFleur,
right?
And not McCarthy,
right?
It's like
exactly.
Mike McCarthy isn't waddling through that door,
right?
You're dealing with an actual coach with an understanding.
Although Matt LaFleur
numbers.
does think that kicking a field goal down 8 is a smart move.
He does.
So
he actually got a little testy about that.
But
in a way that I almost respect, where you can tell it annoys him, the fact that he did that.
Yeah.
So he's just going down with the ship. He's like, I'd do it again.
I think he was more testy of the fact that like the traditional media won't say that to him now. They won't bring up that question now. Do you know what I mean?
He felt like he's moved past it.
It's been talked about, but obviously he knows that I'm going to bring it up. He knew that when he came on. But I actually woke up the next day and I was like, remember the time that I told Matt LaFleur that he can come on the show after he wins the Super Bowl? That's going to suck.
Yeah,
he's just going to rub it in my face.
I really like the Niners this week.
I really do.
I feel like Kyle Shanahan got the nerves out of the system. Last weekend was a nerves game for him, where you saw it at the end. He almost botched that game.
Did you see that picture, by the way, of who is it? Shit. Go ahead, Tank. You say it. I'm gonna try to find the picture.
I was just gonna say, going into last week, people I feel like have kind of underestimated and forgotten about the fact that the Niners, basically the same Niners team, went to the Super Bowl. Like they had the experience.
Yep, and they're probably better with
Trent
Deebo
Williams.
Samuel,
right,
and Ayuk. Because who was the pass to? Was it Emmanuel Sanders? No.
It was to it might have been to Sanders.
I think it was. Like they have a big time upgrade right now.
And I think it's similar to like the thing you always bust my balls for when I was talking about Jared, just because it was his first time in the Super Bowl. The first time you're in the Super Bowl is hard, but once you're there, it's like going back there is easier, and you have more hunger, I think, to win. Like I think Jimmy G is going to be better off, going forward, having gone there and experienced it and lost and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is it time we just flip the narrative on Jimmy G right now and just be like,
if he wins this
he's
game,
been playing well.
Yeah, he has been.
But just be like, it's ugly sometimes, but the guy's a winner.
Well,
he just wins games. That's all Jimmy G does.
If he wins this game, I think so.
I think he becomes a winner.
It's very similar though to the Matt Stafford, where it's like they're good quarterbacks. Matt Stafford's a better quarterback career-wise, just body of work. But they're good quarterbacks, but you just are always holding your breath, like, will the bad thing happen? And his thumb, like that pass to Greg Kittle, where it was a fumble after, but it wasn't a completion. That was a thumb pass. Like he clearly can't grip the ball correctly, so that made me a little worried. I found the picture. It's Trent Williams, Cowboys fans flipping him off, and him just pointing and laughing in their face.
I fucking love Trent Williams.
All-time picture.
Trent Williams is one of my favorite players.
He's the best.
Always has been. He's been like the best left tackle in football, at least top 3 left tackle in football for about 8 years in a row. And it's insane that he ever got out of D.C. Oh, speaking of getting out of D.C., enough with the pictures.
Yeah.
Can I just do my Firefest right now?
Yeah.
My Firefest is we're going to see pictures of Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur everywhere, reminding us that they were all on the same Washington football team staff in 2013. I get it. By the way, that's Deuce Gruden erasure, because Deuce Gruden was also an assistant on that team as the assistant strength and conditioning coach. But I get it, all right? Jay Gruden has a great coaching tree, and we made him the head coach instead.
It's also, like,
I just
You're
hate
kind of
it.
telling on yourself, people. Dumb organizations do dumb things.
Yeah.
Like the fourth coach in the NFC is Bruce Arians, who I have my own personal history with,
Right.
who didn't get hired by the Bears because he refused to do a fake press conference.
Yeah, and I'm sure that we would have fucked up
Yeah.
Sean McVay if we had hired him as the head coach.
It's not. You could just cut out the picture and just say, like, there are dumb organizations. Here's a list of them, and the Washington football team and the Bears are in that list.
Clowns.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you want to actually get into it, at the time, Kyle Shanahan was there because his dad was the coach, and people were all saying
Nepotism
he was only there because of nepotism. There was like a big knock against him. Then Shanahan gets fired, and Kyle gets fired too. So he got fired because his dad brought him in. His dad started to stink. He gets fired. There was nothing that would have told you, like, keep this guy around unless you're a smart organization and you identified talent. And then with LaFleur, same deal. He goes with Kyle, right? And then there's McVay. McVay got elevated to being an offensive coordinator under Jay Gruden.
Yep.
And so you're not going to fire Jay Gruden and hire like a 30-year-old Sean McVay. That's what a smart organization would have done. We are not a smart organization. Ipso facto, we didn't do it. But I get it.
Doy.
I get it. It's like Big Cat seeing the Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes drafted in front of Mitchell Trubisky.
We're idiots.
Yeah, we're morons. I get it. But now they're just using our moronity as content, and it's everywhere, and it's very annoying to me on a personal level.
Mitchell's like the hottest name in the market, by
He
the way.
is.
Who is the coach of the 49ers that everyone's talking about, PFT? I saw you talking about him yesterday.
Mike McDaniel.
What's his story? Why is he like...
Wait, were you here when we talked about it?
I don't think Hank was here.
No.
He might have been. Yeah, so he's the offensive coordinator. He's like a genius. I think you can say he's a genius. And
He's in Mensa.
He's in Mensa. He's a genius. And on top of all of that, he's a very chill guy because I read a tweet that a reporter from the San Francisco area said, for anyone who's looking to hire Mike McDaniel as their next head coach, just a heads up, he refuses to take an interview with any team that is in a state that doesn't have legalized weed.
And he also,
and not joking.
Yeah.
Like, that was a serious thing that was said.
He's also the guy that greeted reporter Mike Jones by doing the whole who?
Mike
Jones?
That's the clip I saw.
Him.
Yeah.
He's the most Colorado person of all time.
Yeah.
If you were to take the state of Colorado and just drop a police sketch of a random citizen, the only difference is like he would have like a blue heeler dog with him on the sideline and a couple forearm tattoos, and he'd be holding a microbrew.
And he's also, we're very stupid in the media. If a coach shows even a little bit, like a tiny little bit of personality, everyone's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Staley, who we like, who we'll have back on. But all you have to do is show that you're not Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not Mike McCarthy. You're not John Gruden when he's surly. You're not, fill in whatever list of coaches that show no personality. And everyone will be like, oh, my God, this guy is a breath of fresh air.
If you use a comb and you wear a shirt that kind of fits, reporters will be like, the young, hot coach.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, he's not even like, he's not like hot, but people will say he's hot.
Yeah,
he's not overweight and bags under his eyes.
He doesn't have dip spit currently falling out of his chin hair.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this guy he's a real put together guy.
But the weed part is funny.
The weed part's very funny.
It makes him a chill bro.
He's like Kyle Shanahan's understudy.
He's
been following him around for like 7 years. I feel like Kyle has 6 of those guys. It's just that he pays
people were
to
saying
hang
he
out
was
with
on the staff. He was on that staff as well.
Yeah, so
he just follows in Kyle's shadow.
He was like a ball boy or something.
No, he was the wide receiver coach on that same Washington Redskins team that they keep shoving in my fucking face.
All right, so we're going 49ers. Anything
We also
from
went
the couch?
3-13, by the way.
I see this game going 2 ways. 1, a Packers blowout.
Okay.
2, if the 49ers win, I think it's going to be a similar game script to the Joe Flacco at Denver game, double overtime. He's going to have a 50-yard touchdown pass if they win.
Okay.
Whoa.
Dramatic fashion.
Just straight up calling it.
Okay, I like it.
So if they win, he's going to have a big play.
You know what I like
Jimmy
is going
G.
on over here? Jake saw Billy's dildo prediction last weekend, and Jake's like, I got to step up my prediction game.
I got it.
So
Also,
I like it.
If you're in between commercials of this game, Jake will be calling the Vermont game, 7 o'clock, Saturday night.
Well, you can watch the first half. I guess the Bengals Titans.
Nah, that's all right. Titans will be killing
2
them.
TVs.
Yeah.
But if you tweet about this game, people are going to be like, bro, NFL's on.
Yeah, but
I don't care. I will.
Yeah,
We'll watch 2
appreciate
TVs.
it.
I'll walk
Jake.
into the fucking Lions
you.
den.
I've watched every single game that Jake has called.
Thank you. Appreciate
I'm not
going
gonna
to
stop.
support.
All right.
It's on mute, but I've had it on the TV.
Billy.
Aaron Rodgers in a 2-minute drill to win the game.
Ooh, so similar to week 3.
Exactly.
Too much time left for Aaron Rodgers.
God, I would love for him to just throw a back-breaking interception. I am full-blown, like, people will say it's loser talk. I'm admitting I'm a loser. But, like, the Packers not winning the Super Bowl is the most important part of my football season now that, like, you know, the Bears season has been over for months. That might be loser talk, but I embrace it. Like, whenever I go full Duke hater mode and they're like, you think about Duke all the time, like, yeah. I don't care.
Rent free.
I like to do that. That's part of sports. It's not just rooting for your team. It's rooting against your enemies. Rooting for terrible things to happen to your enemies. So I am full blown rooting for terrible things to happen to the Packers.
I think the Niners win. I think they win outright.
God, I hope so.
Same.
God, I hope
probably
so.
bad.
We're on the Niners.
Really bad. I don't know. If we want to go with my computer model, I have the Niners winning this game about 35% of the time, but covering the spread 85% of the time.
I looked at the deep numbers. I don't see a way they don't cover.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, 85% is pretty high.
My deep numbers are just the uniform matchup.
Yeah, it's a great uniform matchup. Okay.
Wait, is it going to snow?
I believe it's going to be too cold for snow.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Too cold for snow?
Yeah, when it gets really, really cold.
Is that like too drunk to fuck?
There's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it gets too cold to snow.
I just see cloudy, high of 21.
I don't know if that's
okay,
true.
so
Low
it's not
of 1.
too cold to snow.
Could change.
But there is too cold to snow.
change.
I don't know if that's true.
Can it be too cold to snow?
No.
I'm pretty sure it can.
No,
No,
I mean there's snow in
There's no
snow.
moisture in the air.
It's water. Clouds have water in them, and then they fall. And when it's cold, it turns into snow.
There are still certain conditions that can generate snowfall at extremely low temperatures.
But it's very rare. It's rare to snow. Too cold for predictable snow.
I
what I
Can
meant
it
to
be
say.
too cold to snow? The answer, no. It cannot be
I'm
too
gonna go
cold
with
to
it.
snow.
I thought Big Cat was doing a bit with the too cold to
No,
snow
I think
thing.
no, but it's definitely when it gets really, really cold. It's most likely not
Wait,
going to
Too
snow.
dry to
Is
snow.
snow real?
Yeah,
Too dry
most
to
likely
snow.
not going to snow. That's what I meant to say. Most likely
Okay.
not going to snow.
But the reason I asked was because I feel like it's counterintuitive with the Packers. With these Packers, Aaron Rodgers doesn't play abnormally well in the freezing cold.
So what is it? 21?
Not like Brett Favre.
That's not that
21.
cold. That's not that cold.
No.
That's
You
for
know what-
Lambeau in January. That's actually there'll be half the stadium will have their shirts off.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's in that weird kind of in-between zone where you're not a pussy if you're an offensive lineman, you wear sleeves.
Right.
Once it gets down into like the lower teens, then you have to take the sleeves off again.
Yeah, and under 10, too cold to snow. All right, before we get to Sunday's game, PFT, you had a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Yes, I did. I want to talk to you about our great friends over at Alto. Big Cat, I have a question for you. Do you think about saving for retirement much?
All the time.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. And one thing that you'll hear from people in their 30s, 40s, 50s is they wish they had started way earlier. I'm speaking from experience right now. If you're in your 20s, you got a job, guess what? You should start saving for retirement. You get the compound interest. You earn way, way, way more money over the long term if you start right now. And Alto is here to help you with that. Could you imagine taking the big bag of cash that we make from every episode, turning it into crypto, and investing it into an IRA retirement account? It sounds too good to be true, Big Cat, but it's actually not. With Alto, you can spice up that old boring retirement portfolio. You can actually invest in crypto, art, real estate, and startups. Best part is you can do it all without the tax headaches that these things generally come with. Using Alto can help defer or avoid taxes altogether. Hank, I know you hate taxes. Sometimes you just don't pay them.
No.
With Alto, they help out with that too because you can defer some of those taxes or you can avoid taxes altogether because it is a savings account for retirement. Those are taxed differently. You end up getting more money out of your dollar. It's a game changer. If I was a gambling man, which I am responsibly, of course, set the over-under at my retirement age. I'm going to call it 45.5. I would take the under on that all day, all thanks to Alto. That's one time you want to hammer the under. Go to altoira.com/PMT. You can get started for just $10. That's altoira.com/PMT. Get started for just $10.
Okay, Sunday. If Saturday wasn't enough, Sunday's going to be incredible. The Bucs and the Rams, 3 o'clock. So similar to the Jimmy G conversation, I keep looking at this game. I think the Rams are very, very good. I'm not going to discredit the Rams. They have guys everywhere. Obviously, the Bucs are Super Bowl champs, but it comes down to simple Tom Brady versus Matt Stafford. And I don't feel comfortable betting Matt Stafford in a playoff game when the other quarterback is Tom Brady. Who's more likely to make a back-breaking error that shifts the entire tenor of the game? I'm going to put it on Matt Stafford.
I like that phrasing that you used there.
Yeah,
that
tenor.
The earlier one. That one was okay, but the first one that you said was the Rams have guys everywhere.
They do.
They do.
They have guys everywhere.
And I was thinking about all the different places, and there was a guy in that one. There's a guy in the defensive line. There's a guy in the secondary.
Receivers,
there's
backfield.
There's a guy in the backfield.
Everywhere.
You know where there's not a guy? There's one place. Safety.
Oh, I was going to say between the ears, Matt Stafford.
No, I like Matt Stafford in this match.
I mean, I'm Matt Stafford's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He got magically healthier over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Remember that report that came out a while ago?
Yeah.
Saying every part of his body was injured?
Yeah.
And he hadn't told anybody about it? I thought for sure that was going to be a signal that he was going to suck for the rest of the year. But he's gotten better. And so I think I like Matt Stafford in this game. I don't necessarily trust the Rams secondary because they were playing Eric Weddle at safety. And no disrespect to the beard, but he's been out of football for 2.5 years.
Yes. And this is, once we get to the divisional round, there's no outcome this weekend that would shock me. If the Rams go into Tampa Bay and kick their ass, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I never saw that coming. They got guys everywhere. They're really, really they have the best defensive player not named TJ Watt. They have their wide receivers are insane. Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown, everything. It's just Tom Brady. You just don't go against him in these spots. I don't know. It feels
a lot of boats in Tampa for Odell too. To be honest,
there are a lot of boats. The one thing that concerns me, and you'll have to look at we're taping this obviously on Thursday, so we'll find out more on Friday after the injury report. Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen are enormous for this game because you don't want to have a backup center trying to block Aaron Donald. You don't want to have that backup left tackle who came in for Tristan Wirfs was so bad.
He stunk.
He
was so bad that Stephen Shea was like, I hate this guy.
And Stephen Shea never says that.
He loves
everyone who's ever been associated with the Bucs.
He's the only bad player on the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and so if those two guys are out, I think you can live with one of them being out because I also like Tom Brady. Every time you're like, oh man, he's gonna get smoked by the defensive line. You forget the fact that Tom Brady, time and time again in the playoffs, will just be like, oh, I'm gonna have one of those games where we just run up tempo and I throw it for 5 yards of completion and I string together 15 completions to score a touchdown on every drive.
Yeah,
he can beat you that way where it's like it doesn't matter if you have no offensive line. He'll just throw the ball so fast that you can never touch him.
Well, the crazy thing is Tom Brady can beat you no matter what you do on defense.
Right.
He has the antidote to every single problem that you would put in front of him. It's just a matter of everybody else on the team doing their job and letting him get the ball from point A to point B. Because he's unbeatable. He's literally there's no defense that you can ever play against Tom Brady that will befuddle him, that will give you a better chance of beating Tom Brady. You can play defenses and put coverages out there that will give you a better chance of beating everybody around Tom Brady.
Right.
But if Tom Brady is healthy, if he's on 2 feet and he's got an arm, he is able to beat you.
Yeah, and it could be one of those games where we just why haven't we heard Aaron Donald? Because they're passing the ball in 1.5 seconds. Mm-hmm. So it's just never even been a possibility that he could get touched.
That being said, I like the Rams in this game.
Yeah, +3?
Again, not because of Tom Brady. You mentioned the offensive line. I think the center is Ryan Jensen. That's a big piece.
He did come back in the game against the Eagles.
Yeah, he did come back, but he's not healthy.
Yeah, Tristan Wirfs came back and then had to leave again. But yeah, he did come back. So
when Tristan Wirfs came back, by the way, it's what are you doing?
Antonio Brown, there was a moment where we're what's going on here?
Antonio Brown was absolutely right. Also,
I do think though the Bucs defense, if the Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl again, it's not going to be because of Tom Brady. They won the Super Bowl last year in part because of Tom Brady, but their defense played lights out. Their defense wrecked everyone on the path to the Super Bowl. It felt like they are finally healthy, finally back to that holy shit. The Bucs, when they're healthy and playing their best defense, you can check the box of violent defense, mm-hmm. where it's every time they tackle someone, whether it be Levante David or Vita Vea or whoever's out there, they're they're actually trying to murder the person.
Yeah, Indominus Sue revenge game too.
Yep.
So you got that factor
True.
going. And also the Bucs running game was really good last year in the playoffs.
Playoff Lenny might be back.
Lenny might be back. Who do they got? They got playoff Le'Veon?
No, dude, our guy. Keshawn Vaughn.
Oh yeah, playoff Keshawn. Fuck that guy. I hate the Bucs being the running back.
Oh, it's the worst.
That.
It's the worst.
It's so painful.
And we're saying
watch.
this just because we had props on it.
Yeah, 100%. Because you can look ahead and know exactly when you're going to die in your bet 10 minutes before it happens, which sucks.
Right.
I just want to see Le'Veon get out there a little bit. You remember when everybody in NFL media was staying up at night to figure out where Le'Veon Bell was going to go as a free agent because he dropped a mixtape?
Yep.
And so you have like Pete Prisco listening to Le'Veon Bell's rap lyrics, trying to decipher them.
Wild times.
He was really good for like 3-4
Yeah,
years.
he was incredible.
One of the best running backs.
Absolutely. The Killer Bees.
But yeah, I think I like the Rams in this game. I know that there are a lot of reasons not to, but I'm also addicted to timing Tom Brady's demise.
Max Kellerman.
And I've been wrong
repeatedly,
so now I just can't get off this bad take.
Again, even if the Rams win, it's not going to be Tom Brady's demise. It's going to be like, the Rams are a really good football team. They're just a really good football team.
Yeah, but people will definitely say, like, is this the end for Tom Brady?
Of course. Hank.
I agree with PFT, but again, kind of similar to what you said, Big Cat, and out of respect for Tom, everything he's done for me and my family and my people, I'm taking the Bucs, but I don't know. I'm in my head about it. I do think the Rams remove Tom Brady from the situation, or remove Tom Brady, being my hero from the situation. I would probably take the Rams. But he is, so I'm taking the Bucs.
And it is one of those bets, like,
and Matt Stafford.
Yeah, do you want to?
You can't be against Tom Brady in the playoffs,
right? You have a chance.
Never want to be there.
You have a chance of winning, obviously, with the Rams because it's pretty much a coin flip game. But with the Rams, you also have a chance of feeling like an absolute moron. If Matt Stafford throws like 2 picks, and then everyone tweets at you, how could you bet Matt Stafford against Tom Brady in the playoffs? And then you feel it's like a double loss where you really feel bad about yourself. Mm-hmm. I hate those.
Like I lost my bet in the national championship game betting on Nick Saban in Alabama.
No one's going to blame you.
And it's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm at peace for that. 9 times out of 10, that bet works out.
Yes. Billy.
My take is both these teams are like super teams, like Madden franchise mode teams. And the Buccaneers are the OG super team. And the Rams, Odell, I think, was a flash in the pan last week because no one was really game planning for him because they thought he was a bust.
Well, hasn't he had like 4 games in a row that are awesome?
No one was game planning for him last week?
Well, no, because that's why he had a big game. Because everyone was like, okay, they weren't taking him seriously.
He's had like 7 touchdowns in his last 5 games.
He has been good.
He has been good.
Okay, I know.
But
You're
taking him
though.
seriously this game.
Got it.
It's not going to be as wide open as it was last game. And then Buccaneers locked down.
I think that you're right. That these are 2 kind of like Spider-Man meme teams where they're kind of dream team. You could say that the Bucs are definitely assembled like a dream team would be. The Rams are assembled like a basketball team, and which is an issue, especially when it comes to like I feel like their offensive line isn't as physical as the Bucs offensive line is when it's healthy.
I don't know how you can look it up. Can you look up weight for offensive linemen, like the total offensive line?
They got
I've always
Whitworth.
just thought they do have Whitworth, but I've always thought the Rams had a little bit on the lighter side, which is not good when you're going on Vita Vea. And this might be totally made up, completely made up. So I'm just saying that right now. I wish I could find that stat. Can you find it?
I can do it.
I think it's list their weights real quick. You got them? I don't even know what the average weight would be. All right, this is the research.
Okay, what would be light? What would be a lightweight on average? I'd say probably like 310.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Which is crazy to say, like 310.
I mean, well, and when you're going up against Vita Vea, who's what?
370, 380?
Yeah, I mean, that would be it's always funny when we try to break down football and like the X's and O's, and it's like sometimes it's kind of like when basketball, like sometimes the taller team wins.
Yeah.
Sometimes the guys with the bigger guys win.
That's what Booger said last week about Vita Vea. He's like, he's got too much ass for Kelsey.
Right.
And it's true. Like Vita Vea has his ass can single-handedly defeat an offensive line by itself.
It's like every time we get pumped about a point guard who's like under 6 feet, and then they get in the playoffs, they get bottled up. You're like, oh yeah, because they're playing a guy who's like 7 inches taller than him, and it matters in the playoffs.
Yeah, if you're looking at the order of like things that dominate and are more important than other things, it can be like offensive lineman who runs a 4.7 40, offensive lineman that can bench press 225 pounds 50 times, and then just Vita Vea's ass
Yeah.
on top of all of it.
Yes. It says the average weight of linemen in the NFL is 314 in recent years.
I would say eyeball test 310 for the Rams.
Okay, so a little bit on the lighter side.
According to Billy's eyeball, yeah.
So, and according to my gut feeling, a little bit on the lighter
Yeah.
side. I actually tried to look it up. I couldn't figure. How do they not rank that? How do you not have just a ranking of total weight of offensive line?
I'm on it right now. Andrew Whitworth. I clicked on his name. Starting left tackle. He weighs 330 pounds.
Okay, so he's on the bigger side.
So he's on the bigger side. Number 2,
This is like a
David
Mike
Edwards.
Princess a bit.
No, this is better. Way
Yeah.
better than. All right, David Edwards, Wisconsin guy, 308.
Oh,
Not good.
Get
I
that
think
weight
Big Cat
up.
was onto
Get
something.
that weight up.
You're a big guy. You're from Wisconsin. You
Get
be
up.
drinking more milk and bathing in butter. Your center, Brian Allen, 303.
Yeah, center's obviously smaller usually, but
303.
still.
I would like to see that a little bit higher. Austin Corbett, right guard, 306.
Uh-oh.
These guys-
I'm telling you.
These guys need to hit a Golden Corral buffet before the game.
I'm going to look like a genius
And then-
if these guys get smoked on
Wait,
Sunday.
that's the same guy that I just said. Austin Corbett.
They're just light.
Rob Havenstein.
Also Wisconsin.
That's a heavy sounding name.
Also
Before I
Wisconsin,
look
yeah.
at it, that's a heavy sounding name. Rob Havenstein, 330.
Okay,
But
so
I
their
would
ends,
say like
yeah. They're middle.
They're middle, which is where Vita Vea's ass is.
315.4.
Is what? Their
The
total?
average.
Right, but
Yeah, but
their
in the
middle
middle-
is, their middle is light.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like-
you can afford to have some lighter guys on the edges, especially considering who the Bucs. Well, I guess Jason Pierre-Paul is pretty big, but in the middle, you got Vita Vea's ass just staring you down.
Where
That
else?
Big brown eye.
Where else are you going to find this type of breakdown? Nowhere. Where we guess weights and don't even know if it matters.
Well, this goes back to that conversation that we had a while ago. I forget who we were talking to. Maybe it was Fernelli. And we were talking about the weakness, or Andy Staples. We were talking about weaknesses in recruiting offensive linemen in California. The food's not fat enough
They're
out
not
there
big enough.
to keep them big. That's the problem with the LA team.
Hank, how excited are you for In-N-Out all Super Bowl week?
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, are you going to eat it every
And
meal?
possibly Wingnuts.
Are you going to eat it? Oh, yeah, I know. I got to actually get on that if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I guess we'll know after this week.
I also just feel like Ed and Alicia we could be like, hey, first class, tickets to the game, set you up, and they'd be like, no thanks.
We'll stay
Yeah.
here and watch them.
I had that thought as well.
They could absolutely say that.
I
They're
could see
like,
them going
we'd
to-
rather just hang out.
Going to like a watch party at the stadium.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not a bit at all. I swear to God, this happened to me this morning at 2 a.m. I woke up and I was thinking about Wingnuts, and I just pulled my phone out and I went onto my own Instagram page to rewind until I got to the Wingnuts, and I just stared at the chicken wings for about 30 seconds
Incredible.
and looked at them.
They're the best.
I need them.
I'm predicting a segment for First Take or Undisputed Monday morning. If the Bucs win this game, they're gonna say the Rams went all in, only to forget Tom Brady's in their conference.
Yeah.
Kind of like when super teams build with LeBron in the East.
I also think the Rams, for some reason, they've just figured out a way to go all in every year. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what they do. They
Now-
don't have any draft picks.
Jake, do you agree, though, that if the Rams win, the conversation is this the end of the line for Tom Brady?
Yes, one of those two will be happening.
Do you think that Tom Brady, Hank, I'll pose this to you, if they win the Super Bowl this year, do you think he would walk off?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility.
I think it's now we're definitely in the range of, because I actually was thinking about this. I don't think he would do the walk off at the Super Bowl podium. I think he would wait, like Peyton basically did that, or Peyton was an all time. You don't retire from the game retires you. But Tom Brady, I think he would wait to make it a big week long thing in like February or March.
It would probably be tied in with one of his new companies
Crypto,
that he's got.
yeah.
Like Tom Brady week, big announcement coming on the 12th
Yeah.
of whatever month he's in.
It's crypto,
Yeah.
and he retires.
Yeah.
There was drama with the final episode of The Man in the Arena.
Oh, really?
People were saying, because it didn't come out on the day it was supposed to come out, and people were saying, I was like, in many Twitter threads, Billy reply guy, but some were saying that Antonio Brown was in the episode and they were cutting him out post mostly, and some were saying that
Well, he didn't die.
they're waiting for Tom Brady to win, and episode 10 is going to be him announcing his retirement.
Whoa! So have they not released
I'm
it?
trying to. I was looking at it before it got released. I didn't check if it ended
Probably
up
the
getting
ESPN
released.
app just crapped out.
Yeah, the ESPN app sucks recently.
Wait, they want him to win this playoff game, then retire?
No, they want him to win the Super Bowl, then retire. Hank, are you saying that they're going to hang on to this episode until after the Super Bowl?
I'm not saying this is what the people on Twitter the reply, because people would be like, where the fuck is this episode? And then people in the replies were like, they're waiting for him to win
Well,
the
if
Super Bowl
that's
and
the
retire.
case, then we live in a simulation, because that just means like if he's like, we're going to wait because I know I'm going to win the Super Bowl.
I'll keep going. We'll see if
Or if
it's
they
out yet.
lose, then he announces retirement.
I don't know.
Now, if he loses before the Super Bowl, he's coming back next year.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
But fuck the ESPN app.
All right.
Except ESPN 3 is great on Saturday night where you can watch Vermont.
Hell yes. What are you listening to, Jake? He's got something. He's crunching
Matt
something.
LaFleur in his press conference today mentioned the podcast.
What did he say?
I can play it.
Give
from
it
the
to
start.
us.
Yep.
All right.
This is off the cuff.
All right,
Forecast
LaFleur.
for Saturday, I see a high of 19, a low of 7. I'm
Is
wondering
there
if
a
that
neighbor?
reaches
For
the
snow?
threshold for your wetsuit, if that will be utilized on Saturday.
I don't know. We'll just have to see how I'm feeling game time, but I definitely will have some layers on. You know, I always joke with these guys that I don't get the chance when we're making corrections on offense or on defense to go sit on those heated benches. So I'm going to make sure I stay warm.
Okay, so maybe wetsuit. That was friend of the program, Aaron Nagler, who I text with him every now and then. I am very I basically, it's like a thermometer of confidence for the Packers, and his tone tells me whether he truly thinks they can win it all.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely does, and that's making me very nervous. Like
So-
his answers to me are like, "Uh-oh."
So
he knows.
but he's legit with his emotions to you. He's not always like, we're going to win everything.
No,
He's not
no,
overconfident.
he
He's
is
realistic.
very honest, and I'm very worried just based on our correspondence.
What about Tom Crabtree, recurring guest? I feel like he's the guy that's like always too confident.
Yeah, he's always like
He
Aaron
gets
Rodgers
over
is
his
the greatest
skis,
ever.
yeah,
He
because
shouldn't be
he
in
threw
jail.
one touchdown
Right.
to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Episode 10 is not out.
Oh, okay. So stay woke.
No offense, Tom. I love you.
So we live in a simulation, officially. All right, Sunday night. I mean, this is the best part about this weekend, is that we have 3 games that are all great, and then we have the Chiefs and the Bills, which I could not be more excited for this game. In fact, I've released my game of the year, my 3rd game of the year, over 54.5 in this game. People are like, oh, how many game of the year? Listen, I haven't lost a game of the year yet. Do you want me to keep releasing winners? I also love that a lot of people have been taking the under, which makes me even more confident, because I know it's a high number. I know it's crazy.
Why would you take the under in this game? It's
You
It's fun.
torture. Yeah, torture yourself.
This is a fun game. This is a game where, like, any given quarter, either one of these two teams could put up 24 points.
Right. So my rationale behind it, in terms of the actual game, which we could talk about, like who we actually think is going to win, but the rationale behind the over game of the year is the last 2 times these guys have played, it's been fireworks, including the AFC Championship game. So you can't be like, oh, they play tighter in the playoffs. I think both teams are going to get at least 1, maybe 2 big-time touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like big-time plays.
I like that. A big-time touchdown.
Big-time touchdowns. Not 10 play drives. I'm talking 3-play drives.
That's one where you say to the house.
Yeah, right.
when
You're
watching
like,
it.
that's good
House
for the
call.
over. I'm also, so for the Chiefs, we'll have to look at the practice reports, but Rashad Fenton, their best cornerback, didn't play against the Steelers, back injury, hasn't practiced this week. He would be very crucial for the Chiefs defense on a team that wants to pass the ball over you. And for the Bills, I think this is where you really get hurt by Tre'Davious White. Like when you look at who the Bills played, he got hurt in that was it Thanksgiving night? Did they play Thanksgiving night? Yeah, the Saints, the Saints and Bills. They then played a bunch of teams that really couldn't kill them with the pass, and also the Bucs, who did kill them with the pass. Remember that game that went to overtime that the Bucs kind of took their foot off the gas?
Refs fucked him.
Refs fucked him. I think this is the game where you're like, damn, really wish we could have Tre'Davious White out here against a Chiefs offense that can do it on anyone.
I think that the Bills are one of the only teams in the NFL that can control the clock against the Chiefs enough to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Hey, Big Cat, Chiefs can't score when Mahomes doesn't have the ball.
True.
That's just a fact. A lot of teams say that. Well, they can technically, yes, I know.
But yeah.
They probably won't be scoring if Mahomes doesn't have the ball.
The
Bills can do it though. They have the offense necessary that can keep their team on the field for a longer period of time, keep their defense rested, and then just hope that you get a couple stops here and there against Mahomes, and then you try to grind it out a little bit.
And I'll be the first to admit I kind of fell for the Chiefs' defense has completely like fixed itself And then you look back through it, and you're like, okay, who did they play? And, I mean, they didn't fix themselves against Justin Herbert, who's a very good quarterback. They didn't fix themselves against Joe Burrow, who's a very good quarterback. They fixed themselves. I mean, even the Broncos went up and down on them with Drew Lock. They fixed themselves against Big Ben. What?
What does that mean?
Drew Lock?
Yeah, I mean, you had to, like,
it's a side swipe. It's a side swipe. They
Mm-hmm.
fixed themselves against, Big Ben, who some of the numbers after the season, like, did you see the chart, the pass chart he had?
Yeah.
He
wasn't playing football by the end.
It really wasn't. They played the Packers, but it was Jordan Love, and they beat up on the Raiders twice. So I think the Chiefs' defense is not historically bad like it was. It's definitely a lot better.
It's somewhere in the middle, yeah.
But it does feel like when they play really good teams, you see like, oh yeah, this isn't the strength of their team.
But even if they're playing badly, they're still opportunistic enough where they can make you pay if you make a mistake. They'll like turn the ball over. Tyrann Mathieu got his hand on a ball that he has no business intercepting or picking up a fumble that he shouldn't even be there for.
Yes.
And he'll get it. And that's just what, like, the Chiefs defense, I find that happens a lot with teams that are really good offensively, is the defense just shuts everything else off in their brains except for turnovers.
Right.
It's like we'll go out here and you can complete whatever you want on us. We'll give up a shitload of yards, but we're exclusively playing to try to get the ball out of your hands.
Yeah, that's our contribution.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like the Chiefs defense is good enough to keep them honest, but I still think that this is Josh Allen's time. I think we're going to see Josh fucking Allen this weekend.
I want it to happen so bad. I'm going to focus mostly. I'm going to focus on the over because it's my game of the year. I don't think I'm going to bet either side. I would bet the Bills, but there's just a nagging thing in the back of my brain that, like, it's similar to the Tom Brady, where every time you think that Patrick Mahomes, like last year in the AFC Championship game, then what happened? It's just like the Chiefs are one of those teams that can embarrass you.
Yeah.
They can embarrass you when you gamble against them.
The Bills can too. That's the
I
thing.
know.
The
And
Bills
I
just
want
did
them to
last
win.
weekend.
I want them to win, but you
He has a rookie quarterback.
You can easily.
Is it time to move on from Mac Jones?
He's a rookie, no.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I mean, he looked pretty bad down the stretch there, Hank.
I mean, he's a rookie quarterback that took his team to the playoffs. We're not talking about that.
Okay.
You can be embarrassed by Patrick Mahomes. You can go into a game thinking that you're going to beat Patrick Mahomes and then have like like happened on Sunday night. Obviously, the Steelers they're barely a playoff team. They were a playoff team, but that snowballed on them so fucking fast and so holy shit. This is what they do. They ran out of fireworks.
Yeah. I've got one quote from the Bills left tackle, Deion Dawkins, that might sway you to betting on the Bills.
Oh, I would bet on the Bills if I were. I'm focusing all my energy on the over.
Deion Dawkins, he says, this is actually might be a new segment for us. No disrespect, but F everybody.
Love it.
He even said F. He didn't say fuck. But he
Love it even
implied
more.
no disrespect, but F everybody. I like it. I like the entire Bills mindset right now because they still feed off all the disrespect that they got after that Week 13 game. It was recent enough where, like, the Titans lose to the Jets earlier in the season. People clown them for a week and kind of forget about it, move on. But since that was a Monday Night Football game and it was so late in the season, since it was such a memorable game,
Yep.
they're still catching shit.
And the Jaguars game too happened in around that time.
Yeah, the Jags game
So
too.
it's like a combo.
So they're still catching shit for being somewhat fraudulent. But if you've seen them play recently, you know that the Bills,
They're really good.
I mean, and they might get beat this weekend, but I don't think that would make them frauds.
No, the Chiefs are also really good. Like,
Yep.
That's why these games. That's why I'm so excited for these games. Everyone is really good at this point in the playoffs. We're sounding like Magic Johnson right now. Anything could happen. Anything could happen, guys. You also should watch, not just because he is our friend and he will be back on the show next week, Julian Edelman, Inside the NFL. Did you see the mic'd up Jordan Poyer talking to guys on the bench about Josh Allen? He was like, he's so fucking good and no one realizes how goofy he is. And it was just so awesome. It was so endearing. They're like, I die for him. I love him. There's something about when like defensive players like love their quarterback, who they probably, in an NFL locker room, they probably spend no time with them. And having that love for him, it means that they're really a dude.
Yeah,
And that's Josh.
that's Josh, baby.
Thoughts on this game from Hank or the couch before we get to Coach O?
Going Bills. Bills money line.
Yeah. Small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a hungry dog. It's Niners, Bills, Bengals.
Ooh. Niners, Bills, Bengals. Okay.
That is a very.
Where does that
dog.
lose?
I mean, I think one of those is going to lose. I just don't know which one.
Yeah.
No offense.
I like
You
the Bills.
you picked the Niners and the Bills, so the Chiefs.
And the Bengals.
So you.
So I agree with you.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I don't. But
All right.
I don't think all three. I'm not delusional enough to think that all three of my bets are going to win.
I am.
All right.
You got to have that confidence.
Yeah, I love it.
Billy.
Like the Bills, but it's going to be an absolute shootout.
Yes.
Absolute
Over. Game of the year. Let's go. And just so everyone knows, and the guys in this room could back me up, when I say game of the year, I put the chips in the middle. I'm putting the chips in the middle. It's going to be a responsibly large wager for me. I'm going to be sweating out every second of it.
I might ride with you.
Thank you. It's fun to just be like, let's fucking ride.
I increased my units last week on the Cowboys credibility game, which I lost. But now I've got that big game hunting feeling.
It's fun. It's fun.
PFT, get your fingers ready. This is basic heaven.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Bills, Chiefs.
Now, are you
Sunday
worried
night,
though? Are you
yeah.
worried though that
So
it's
basic.
early? Is it too early for basic?
No, I think anytime the
6:30.
Chiefs, it's actually even more perfect for basic time because all the big Jays are still awake.
Yeah,
no
that's true.
no one's tapped out for bed yet.
Barbecue spread in the press box, I'm sure.
Yep.
It's sad
Kansas City.
how more excited I am for the timing of this game. The fact that we actually can maybe start recording at like 10 o'clock on Sunday night. It's crazy how much that changes my entire mood and happiness that we don't have to like start recording at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It probably says a lot about like football season has taken its toll
Yeah.
on our lives.
It's a really nice change of pace.
Yes. Okay. Before we get to Coach O, quick word. So we started the Coach O interview. His audio wasn't great. We stopped it about 2 minutes in. We got it fixed. He got in the AirPods. Sounded great afterwards. He also gave us at the end of the interview one of the greatest compliments we've ever gotten on this show.
I'm still buzzing from
it.
Well,
It was.
You remember
Put on our tombstones.
maybe one of the last times we had him on, he just out of nowhere goes, "Thank you all for your friendship."
Yeah.
And that made me feel high for
Warm,
2
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
I'm still buzzing from what he told us at the end earlier because nobody's ever said that to us before.
Yes. So, all right, Coach O is brought to you by our friends at Chevy. You know we're Chevy truck guys. 2021 was a big year for Chevy trucks. Silverado really made some news, and we're not just talking about Silverado and the Low Man Award or Coach Prime and all the goodness Dion's bringing. We're talking product news. The Silverado ZR2, Chevy's new flagship off-road truck, was introduced in September, and in the spring you'll be able to see it at your Chevy dealer. And what's next for 2022? Well, just a couple of days ago, Chevy revealed the first ever all-electric Silverado built from the ground up on the Ultium battery platform that brings with it new power, new flexibility, and of course, a new range of what's possible in a truck. We've seen the Silverado EV, and it's really cool on the outside and on the inside. It's got all kinds of new features. Just a lot of firsts on an EV truck. Head over to Chevy.com, learn more, and reserve your Silverado EV today. Chevy Silverado. We love Chevy. We love Chevy Silverado. Chevy.com. Go check it out right now. Silverado EV today. Okay, here he is, our very good friend, Coach O. Okay, we now welcome on one of our very special guests, one of our good friends. It is Coach O. He is live from Miami Beach. You look fantastic. You look like you're happy, sun, everything. We're going to talk about Joe Burrow, the Bengals, big playoff game, but let's first do this. Like, what is, unemployed Coach O look like? It looks like a pretty good life right now. You're doing well.
I've been enjoying myself, man. I've been enjoying my family. I've been enjoying my time off, working out, doing a lot of things that I haven't got a chance to do. Very appreciative of my time at LSU. Feeling great.
Yeah, you look like you've been spending some time with Ray Baker down there. You still friends with him?
Yeah, I just went run with it, man. He kicked my butt again. He got me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you lifting right now? Are you benching, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm lifting and running every day, man. Every day I can, and boxing at night.
Oh, okay. All right. So what are you benching right now? I think you're the one who told us that you have to be able to bench a certain weight to get respect in the locker room.
Yeah, and my goal was I have to wake up every day and bench 315. Now I got to tell you, I'm not there yet. I got to get back at it. I got a little work to do.
Okay, that's a good
fine.
goal. That's
Yeah.
a good goal.
You'll get there for sure. So, is there a part of you that has started to miss football, or are you just like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy my time off. I'm going to take some time for O.
Yeah, I'm taking some time off, watching a lot of football. You know, all three of my sons want to get into coaching. And so, I mean, we on the phone, we networking. It's like I'm young again, trying to get jobs. We all trying to get jobs, get plays, get competitive. So I spend a lot of time doing that with my boys.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about your son. Is he still talking to you after you sacked him 8 times? That's messed up. I was looking at the stats from that game. He had negative 60 yards rushing. That's mean. That was a mean thing you did to him.
You know what he says? He said he loved the game. He said, Daddy, I scored in Tiger Stadium, man. He said, I'll never forget it. He thinks about it, but you know what? He's tough. He knew it was going to happen, and I was just happy when that game was over. I got to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, Coach O's back. We had to do a little technical thing here to get a little bit better audio. This is life at the beach, right? Like this is, right. It's not like you're in a conference room set up to do a bunch of meetings. I love it. This is perfect setup. So, we were talking about missing football. How is it watching the games? Like, being in football for as long as you have been in football. Can you watch the games and enjoy them, or do you watch the games and you're like, oh, they got to do this different, or I wish I could see the all-22. I wish I could see something differently.
Yeah, I enjoy watching the game. I sit down. We get a lot of food with my kids. We're on the sofa. I didn't get a chance to do that for 42 years. On Sundays we work, on Saturdays we work, and so I enjoy watching the football games. I enjoy sitting there. So actually, I really enjoy this being with my time off. And I know there's a lot of good football being played right now. I'm excited about the playoffs. There's a lot of great teams.
For sure. Yeah, the Bengals are looking really, really good. And I know that you're keeping up with them because obviously they got Joe and Jamar on the team. And the last time we saw those guys playing together and saw you was it was down in New Orleans when you guys were winning a national championship. That was a pretty fun night. Have you do you stay in touch with Joe? Do you talk to him on a regular basis?
Yeah, I text every once in a while, and he always texts me back. My son was going through a tough time, threw a couple of picks. He gave him a call. He's always there for him. I talked to his dad. Very supportive. Very proud of what he's doing.
So the Joe Burrow path is incredible to me because, obviously he goes to Ohio State, then transfers to you guys at LSU, and we were reminiscing on Monday. We were at that game his first year at LSU when he played Alabama. You guys I think got blanked. And we watched the game. I remember coming away from that game being like, 1, Joe Burrow's tough as hell because he got beat up.
Yeah.
But 2, I didn't walk away being like, that guy's the first pick in the draft and he's going to be a future franchise quarterback. And then from that point on, it's like the explosion of his talent, everything. Did you see that? Did you in your wildest dreams be like, this guy is going to be a bona fide superstar in the NFL?
We didn't see it when he first came, to be honest with you. I saw his leadership. I saw his guts and his character. But he had some things he had to work on. I think Steve Ensmith, our quarterback coach, did a tremendous job with him. Joe Grew is a football player at LSU. He had to compete. Like you said, man, we got beat by Alabama. Nobody was happy. But Joe came to work the same day, same way, same attitude. And I think when he really exploded was that summer that he had to get 10,000 balls with each receiver. They grew together. That the game against UCF, he had a great game there. And then we went to the spread offense with Joe Brady. I think that was the evolution of Joe. That was more his wheelhouse, and he could be more in control of the game.
And in terms of his toughness, because I think that's an underrated part of Joe Burrow, because obviously there's a lot of tough guys in the NFL. But at the quarterback position, Joe Burrow, it feels like he is always going to give his receivers an extra second and take that hit and stand in the pocket. And it's something that you just can't teach. And I would imagine, speaking as his former coach, the rest of the team sees that and just galvanizes behind him. Is that not how it works?
I'll tell you what, it fired up the team, man. It's in his DNA. Now, Joe will fight for you. Joe will work his butt off. He'll be first in the weight room. He's consistent. I remember his first game. I'm walking right behind. We had a pregame warm-up. And I'm walking right behind. We're going in there about to talk to the team. And Joe has his helmet on, and he's banging it against the cement wall. I said, Joe, settle down, man. You're going to be okay. But that's in him. Joe's tough, and that's in him. It's going to be like that every day with Joe Burrow.
It's great, too, because, the way we watch football has obviously changed, analytics and the way people talk about football. But I just love when you see a guy and you're like, yeah, he's just a tough motherfucker, and that matters a lot for football.
You know, and it matters in the locker room. Our team believed in Joe, and you know he took that hit against UCF. It was a late hit. I called timeout. I said to get Miles in. He used some words. F that, coach. I ain't going out. We're down 14 points. We went down and scored the next 3 possessions. I think that's when he won the team over.
Yeah. Yeah, and it always seems like he's unflappable too. Like, yeah, he does take a lot of hits, and he gets right back up. And I think, you know, his players, his teammates obviously respect that. But he doesn't like lose his cool when he's back there.
No.
He's got like a very even temperature about him, where he's dodging around guys that are coming at him that weigh 100 pounds more than he does, and he doesn't seem like he's even breaking a sweat. That's
his intelligence. That's his confidence. Joe studies film, and like I said, you guys know this. We had a football meeting in recruiting. There were 6 people in the room. All of us in there, our coaches. Joe's the smartest guy in the room. He's the smartest football player I've ever been around. He studies. He's consistent. He has one goal in mind, and that's to be great. You know, the year we were going on a championship run, and you know, he started – think about this. He started the season. He was a projected 6th-round pick. He ended up being the 1st-round pick. You talk about development and getting better throughout the year. But you know what? As we grew and as we started winning games – Heisman Trophy started talking. That was not his goal. Our goal was one thing, is to win the championship, and he led us that way.
Yeah, you mentioned recruiting. I'm curious, do you miss going on recruiting trips? You miss being invited into Mama's home and having some of the gumbo?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, I did it for so long. You know, think about this. I've been in college for 42 years, man. And that's a long time. It's time to take a break. I'm enjoying my break, but you know what? I do miss it. I do miss football. I do miss my team. I miss the excitement. I miss the competition.
So, not to, dwell on the past, but how often do you think about the national championship that night? Because I will tell you right now, I probably think about it once a week just because it was that much fun. And when like going out after in New Orleans and then getting to interview you the next day when we were very, very drunk. How often do you think about it, though?
You know, it happens so fast, and Derek will tell you guys will know that, man, you didn't have a chance to take it all in. And but, being a boy from Louisiana and always want to win the championship for the people in Louisiana, now that I get to think about that, it was a special night. It was a special night for the state of Louisiana. Think about this, man, 15-0. And all they can do is try to match it. Good luck.
They can't take it away from you ever.
Yeah.
They can't
Never.
beat it. I don't know if you remember this, but in that right after the interview that we had, whereas Big Cat alluded to, we were fairly intoxicated still from the night before its festivities. We interviewed Joe, and then after we interviewed Joe, you were still in like head coach mode, where you were running around grabbing people, and you were like, "Everybody get on the bus right now. The bus is going to leave without you." And you were making sure everybody and everyone, your whole team was like, "What the hell do we need to get on the bus for? We just won the national championship. Like, we don't have practice tomorrow." But you're right. I don't think that you were really. You're not a guy that like sits back and would soak things in. You're always on the go, right?
Yeah. Oh, and the next thing's up. We had to get back. And we had to get back. We had to get recruiting. We had to get going. We wanted to keep that thing rolling. And I'm so appreciative of the coaches and the players. Hey, think about this, man. The way you win championships, you get great players. And great players make big-time plays and big-time games, and our guys did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch I assume that you did watch the college football championship this year. Did you have a rooting interest? Were you pulling for Georgia or Alabama?
No, I was interested in watching the game. I was really interested in seeing, a lot of players that we recruited. We played Alabama very tough. We played them about as tough as anybody. And I was pleased to see that Georgia played their best game. I'm happy for Kirby Smart. Obviously, I got a lot of respect for Coach Saban in Alabama, but I'm happy for Kirby. I know how much it meant for them to win the national championship, for him to be in at a school that he played for in Georgia. I'm very happy for him and his team.
So you talked about, winning it for the state of Louisiana, the people of Louisiana, being from Louisiana. Have you had any talk, maybe in the transition with Brian Kelly, maybe tell him how not to do a Louisiana accent? Has that come up at all? Has he reached out and been like, "Hey, coach, I could really use some help pronouncing the word family"?
Not at all. Listen, hey, you know what? And man, we went to LSU, and we were going to work every day. And I knew one day it'd come that I'd walk out that building. I said, once I walk out that building, I'm leaving it alone. I'm doing everything I can. Very appreciative. I never had a bad day at Louisiana State University. I wish all those guys the luck, but now it's up to them. I got nothing to do with it now.
Yeah, and you deserve credit because it's a very tricky situation. It's not often that a guy, is told, hey, you're not going to be here next year, but we still need you to keep coaching for the rest of the year. And, I think that's a testament to your love for the school and the state of Louisiana. So you deserve credit for that for sure.
We were going to stay and fight. I wasn't going to leave my team. And I knew after the Kentucky game that wasn't the LSU standard performance. We had a meeting. I understand. I get it. I understand the LSU standard performance. It just wasn't there. But I was going to stay there and fight for the team. And think about this, man. We played Alabama tough. We're a couple plays away from winning that game. We played great defense. We played Arkansas in overtime. And then we beat Texas A&M. And I kept telling the team, stay together. We had a lot of new guys play. We had a lot of guys that didn't play. And those guys that stayed, I told them, if you keep on working, something good's going to happen. And, man, what a great game against Texas A&M. A great memory.
That was. And do you regret it all, the Sissy Blue shirts? Because I regret it. Because I bet on LSU after you said that, and then it didn't really work out.
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all. Hey, listen, that's something. Hey, listen, man, that's a long-going thing with USC. I used to say that at USC a long time ago, back in 1999 when I was there. And, I was walking in there, and the fan provoked me. And I was just joking with them, about the Sissy Blue shirts. But they did whoop our tail, and I got to give them credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need to know, Big Ken and I, because we've talked about this a little bit. We like LSU. We like Louisiana State University. We love the state of Louisiana. But we're also just like Coach O guys. So you really upped our love for that university. You essentially recruited us when you were there, whether you know it or not. We need to know, is it still Go Tigers right now? Are we still pulling for them?
It would always be Go Tigers. I'm always pulling for them. I wish them all the best, man. I've got a lot of people that I love there. I got a lot of players that are recruited. I don't know Coach Kelly well. I think he's a great coach. I think he's going to do a great job. I wish him all the best. I'm always going to cheer for the Tigers.
So let me throw this idea out there because I think I'm getting the vibe that you are enjoying your time, but you're not going to say no to like coaching, again. You'll be back out there at some point. Have you thought about being just an interim head coach for hire? Because you're the greatest interim head coach of all time. When you took over for USC, that was my initial love with you, was you took over for USC in what it was, 2013, and you guys went on a tear against the spread and straight up, and then the same thing happened when you took over at LSU. There's something about you that you can galvanize a locker room. So have you thought about that? Like, hey, you're going to fire your coach, bring in Coach O, pay him like $5 million. He'll finish out the season, probably win some games you're not supposed to win.
Hey, that's a good idea, man. Hey, I'm ready. Hey, I didn't think of it like that, but hey, I'm one phone call away. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm rested. And look, hey, I've been off for 6 weeks now, and I got the itch. I do think I'm going to coach again, but it's got to be the right thing. I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to do the things that I need to do. But if it's the right thing, I'm getting back in it.
Are we limiting ourselves to college? Or are we thinking like if the right pro team called in the right situation, you do that?
Yeah, all options are open. All doors are open. I'm gonna be 61 this summer. I'm healthy. I got a lot of up in the tank, man. Whatever it may be, whatever's going to happen is going to be for the right reason. I do believe that.
Let me throw out another one. And now I never know with coaches. It's always tough. College football is a cutthroat business. So I might say this name and you're like, oh, we had a falling out like 10 years ago. You didn't know. But you were a coach. You were on the staff when Mario Cristobal was a player at Miami.
Yeah.
Maybe Coach O comes back to bring some juice back to the U, defensive line, defense, whatever it may be, get the boys going again. Is that a possibility?
It may be. I'm not far away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass the Carl Gables tomorrow. We're going right to the Keys. But you know what? I talked to Mario, and I love Mario. I think it's a great fit for the University of Miami. He's got a lot of pride. It reminds me of going back to LSU, and I think he's going to do a great job there. And, again, I'm keeping all options open.
Okay, so I'm going to put that one out in the rumor mill just because, like I said, I never know. Like, I could probably list 10 coaches that you've coached with or been around, and, 8 of them you'd be like, oh, yeah, we don't talk anymore because that's just the nature of the business, right? That's how it always seems to work, where you mention someone and it's like, oh, yeah, you didn't hear there was a falling out over a recruit or whatever it may be.
You know what? I can't tell you that. All the guys I've been with, we're friends. I talked to Lane Kiffin the other day. I talked to Sarkisian. Pete Carroll, man, Clay Helton, all these guys, we tight. I mean, we're one family. And listen, hey, stuff happens in football. It's competitive, but you got to let that stuff go. You got to move on,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider leaving the South? Like, could you see yourself working in a city where it snows for 4 months out of the year?
Well, I got to tell you, I coached at Syracuse, New York, with Paul Pasqualoni. I'm very gracious of the job. And Syracuse was a great school. But when it snowed May 1st, this Southern boy had to leave. I was shoveling snow on my driveway. And down here we bowled crawfish and we played basketball outside. And the snow on May 1st was a little different for me, I got to admit.
Yeah, May 1st, that's just God telling you you're not supposed to be living here.
Yeah.
It's it should be the summer. You should be able to have your shirt off somewhere and a cocktail in your hand on May 1st.
Yeah.
I would get out of there too if I were you.
Yeah.
I had a question about Big Cat brought up the interim coaching thing. Rick Bisaccia is the coach of the Raiders, right? He took over on an interim basis. He was thrown into a really, really tough situation, and I think he handled himself really well this year. You can see that his players care about him, that his players played real hard for him this entire season. They kind of outperformed those expectations there. What was it, do you think, about what you did at LSU that was able to give them the confidence that, okay, we're going to take this guy that he's had success being an interim coach, and we're going to give him the keys? What do you think? What kind of case could Bisaccia make for himself that might lend some credence to the fact that he should stick around as the head coach there?
Well, the good thing is that he had a job interview every Sunday, and I thought the guy did very well. And he had a job interview every day. They saw the inner workings. They saw the way that he had got that team to play. I think the guy did a great job, man. I hope they give him a shot. I think he deserves it. I know Rod Marinelli on that staff. I know Walt Julep, one of the scouts there. Everybody loves him. Everybody's talking great about the guy. I think when you step in like that and you're not ready for it, and then you go in there and you galvanize the team, I think that a guy deserves a shot. And I think he can do a great job. I was very fortunate, and Derek was there right with me. And I talked to Joe Leaving the other day, and I thanked him for hiring me. Now, we wasn't the first choice, wasn't the second choice, wasn't the third, but it didn't matter. We got the job. And when I said, once we get the job, our goal is to win the national championship. We want to build a championship program, and we did. For that, I'm grateful.
Yeah. So when you're watching the NFL, we were just talking to Derek before this started. There's LSU Tigers on the Titans as well. Is it like watching fantasy football where you're just rooting? You're not rooting for a team. You're just rooting for your specific guys to ball out?
Yes. I'm watching individuals play. And you know what? I'm so proud of all these guys. They're doing so well, man. They took the NFL by storm. But you know what? It's no surprise because they're team players. They're about the team. They're about winning. They want it. All those guys had a tremendous work ethic. Think about this. In the spring, going into our championship year, on a Saturday morning, we had a recruiting weekend, and spring ball was over. And my own campus recruiting coordinator called me and said, Coach, can we take the recruits to watch your team practice? I said, we're not practicing Saturday morning. Spring practice is over. She goes, no. She goes, Joe and Jamar and all those guys, and Justin Jefferson called the practice. Clyde Edwards-Helaire called the practice. The whole team was there, 100% on Saturday morning, practice at 9 o'clock. That's loving football, man.
Wow.
So those guys got that in the DNA, and I'm so glad that they took it to the NFL and having success. It also goes to show you, when we recruited these young men, we talked about development. We talked about you're going to get better. 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star. It don't matter. Look at Devin White. Look at what he's doing. Look at Justin Jefferson. I don't know if he was a star. It didn't matter. But they developed at LSU. And also, you guys know, playing in the SEC is one notch below the NFL. And the competition level there is fierce. I think that's why those guys are having so much success in the NFL.
Yeah, and speaking of guys in this draft, how good can Derek Stingley be? Like, he's going to be a first-round pick. He was one of your great players on the championship team as well. Is he going to be another guy who you just like we're gonna look back? Because it's great for your legacy too. When 10 years from now, it's like, look at LSU's roster from that year. It's insane, and Derek Stingley will be added to that.
Derek's the most talented cornerback I've seen in a long time. Corey Raymond coached him, and he said he's as good as Patrick Peterson. Those guys. I have been around Patrick. I love Patrick. I think he's a great player. I know that Derek has not reached that status, but we all believe that Derek can be a great all-pro player. But he's got to stay healthy. He's got some things to do. We wish him the very best. You know, his dad did a very good job of coaching him. When Derek came, he came as a mid-year graduate. We were playing, and we wanted him to play in the bowl. He'd have started in the bowl as a high school football player. That's how good he was.
Big Cat was mentioning, some of the players that had come out, Justin Jefferson being one of them. He kind of fell in the draft a little bit. When you were watching the draft and all these other receivers, were you like, what are the Eagles doing not taking Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, we knew how good he was. And, Justin did a story. Look, Justin didn't get eligible till June. And I think he was like the 2,500 player ranked in the country. But we saw him at camp. We liked him. He got eligible. He developed. His route running is excellent. We had Jerry Sullivan on our staff, who's one of the greatest teachers in route running in football. He's with the Arizona Cardinals. And he took Justin underneath his wing, and Justin just grew, man. And what a great player. We always thought that he'd do great in the NFL, but I'll be honest with you. He took it on by storm a little bit faster than I thought he would. What a great player.
Have you learned how to gritty? Do you know how to do the gritty?
The team asked me how to do that one day. I ain't got no gritty in me, man. I got to tell you.
I got one name to throw out there for you. And we haven't talked to this person about this at all, so feel free to dismiss it out of hand. If you're open to a group of five school, Houston, Dana Holgerson, pretty close by. I don't think there's enough Red Bull in the world to keep the fridges stocked between you and Dana, but we could try. We could make a call for you.
A great coach, a lot of respect for him. Houston's right by, like him. I think he runs a great program.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's maybe link that up. So my last question, Coach, this has been awesome to catch up with you. What are we eating on our cheat day this, now that you're getting back in shape? I need to know, because I think that would probably be the thing you miss the most from the recruiting is you don't get, jambalaya and gumbo in Mama's kitchen. Like, what are you doing now?
Hey, man, we on Miami Beach. It's stone crab, man. It's as many stone crabs that we can put down our face. We ate stone crab last night. We're going to go eat them again tonight. I love them. But you know what? I love being at home. I'm starting to cook now again. I'm going to ask Coco, all right, my mom, she's going to come over to my house, and I'm going to spend 7 days, and I always ask her to write down her recipes. She don't ever want to write them down. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to learn how to cook all the favorite foods that she cooks for me so I can keep it in our family legacy. That's my next goal in the next month.
Put out a cookbook. Let's put out a cookbook.
That's right. She don't want to put it down. I don't know what's wrong with it.
It's tricky. Like, if you're making a roux, sometimes it's not about the ingredients that go into it. It's about the love you put in it, Coach.
Exactly right. A little bit there, shy, a little bit there. I say, Mom, how much you put in me? Put a fish there, and takes it like that, make sure it gets brown, and then watch it get done. She's wonderful.
That's awesome. Yeah, we need the cookbook. But we appreciate you joining us. You're always with us. We got a signed poster that's over my shoulder here, right? Every single show.
I love it.
When they zoom in on my side, we got the Coach O Day. I don't know if you can see it.
Thank you, guys.
It's Coach O Day from honoring Ed Orgeron, LSU Tiger head coach, when you went back to LaRose Civic Center in 2017. So we have a signed poster that's always here.
We got a candle, too, that we light occasionally.
Yeah. So you're with us, and we're excited for whatever you got next. And we're rooting for Joe this weekend. I mean, we love watching him play. So we appreciate your time and enjoy the time off. But let's get back out there. Interim head coach.
All right, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, call me anytime in the air. I appreciate you guys. Everybody loves you. You guys are fantastic. You're great for football. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Coach O was brought to you by our great friends over at Roman Swipes. Most guys have tried different ways to last longer, but thinking about baseball doesn't always work. The folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman Swipes. It's the secret to longer-lasting sex. Roman Swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, they're fast-acting, but they don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, and each swipes packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. You just take the swipes out of the packet, you swipe it on, let it dry, and you're good to go. That's it. So go to GetRoman.com/take. You can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/take. Coach O is also brought to you by our friends over at Sling. If you love watching live sports but you're tired of the high prices, you got to take control of your TV experience. It's time that you got Sling. A lot of people are afraid about cutting that cord, about moving on, about getting into the 21st century. Well, if you're looking for a great way to cut the cord but still get all the sports that you want, the live sports that you need, the live sports that you depend on, you should be using Sling. All your favorite sports channels. You got ESPN, FS1, TNT, and more, and on Sling they come together for less. It's also the cheapest way to watch college hoops, the NBA playoffs, the entire Formula One season, and much, much more. Plus, you can watch past episodes of The Yak, Stool Streams, and exclusive new Barstool content for free on the Barstool Sports channel, exclusively on Sling. I believe that's the home of the Brandon Walker College Football Experience.
No, it's just the Brandon Walker Show now.
Just the Brandon Walker Show. Yeah. He's branching out.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be pigeonholed. It's just the college football guy. So you can call in and just talk to Brandon Walker. It'll be like you're hanging out with your best friend. Whatever you're into, Sling is where you can find the live sports that you love all in one place. Go to sling.com/barstool. You can sign up and try it for free. That's a new deal. It starts at just $35 a month, but you can try it absolutely free for 3 days. No contracts, easy to set up, easy to use. Free for 3 days by going to sling.com/barstool.
Okay, let's finish up with Firefest of the week. By the way, I just looked, and the over-under for the Chiefs-Bills game is actually 54. So I like it even more.
Whoa.
Even though it's dropping, which should make me nervous, but it doesn't. Game of the year.
You should love that.
Yeah. Extra half
Everybody
point.
else is a dummy.
Yep. All right, Hank, your Firefest.
My Firefest, we talked about it on Sunday. The video got over 1 million views. People have just been kind of, joking and mocking me at my expense all week.
What video was that?
I thought I put a bet on TJ Watt to score the first touchdown on Sunday.
Well, good for you. Good news for you is that there are no Watts left.
Yeah, that is good news.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I bet the Rams was the right pick.
No brothers left at all. They're just singular brothers. No two brothers from the same sibling duo is still remaining.
That's a shame. But it was Derek Watt that I bet. So when TJ Watt scored, I thought I won $3,000. Posted it, tweeted it, everyone was celebrating it, and then I had to find out live on stream in front of everyone's face that it was Derek Watt and that I lost money and didn't win money. So that was tough.
I like the people that said that you were faking it.
Yeah,
that was our master plan for you to come
There are
up.
people that are still of that thinking.
That we're acting. Like what how, I just don't even TJ Watt scored the first touchdown. Like what? We planned that?
Basically,
we're like, hey, guys, if
that
TJ Watt scores the first touchdown, let's plan this whole thing out.
Or that I was smart enough and understood the moment enough to be like, to first of all, bet Derek Watt to score in the first place. And then be like, I know that I bet Derek Watt, but I'm going to pretend like I thought I bet TJ Watt.
Because in
I
that
would be the greatest. I would be the greatest. I would be the greatest thespian of all time.
I mean, Hank was literally shaking.
He
even told us he was shaking in the moment.
So excited.
Now, you know what the problem is that Nick's timing with how he said, that says Derek Watt, was like perfect because he has just good natural timing. And so it ended up looking like a great punchline, which it was at your expense, unfortunately. But yeah, Hank, I assure you, was not. No. Hank could not act that good. The only good actor we have in this group is Bubba. Yeah. As evidence from the Coors Light.
Unnaturally quick.
Yes. All right, so PFT, you did your Firefest?
Yeah, it's just that I'm going to get that graphic rubbed in my face.
You will.
All weekend.
That's all right.
And whatever.
Don't fight back.
Whatever. At least.
Just lay down.
At least we had him. Yeah, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, I didn't know that the Washington football team was a clown show.
It's news to you. All right, my Firefest. I know that at least one person in this room is going to hate me for saying this.
No, that means me.
That means Hank. But I'll explain myself, and I didn't ever think I'd get to this point. When you're a father, you end up liking things and watching things you never thought you would like, and enjoying things maybe in your past life that you thought were lame. I enjoy watching Dude Perfect with my son, and also I'm kind of jealous of their life. They
That's
have
a fact.
sweet-ass
I
life.
will never, ever contradict that.
They just play games all day, and it looks like so much fun.
What about Beardo being?
I still hate him. I still hate him. Yes. Okay. So that's actually good. Thank you.
No.
PFT.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Like I understand what Big Cat's saying because like
you guys already had this take.
No. Yeah. Well, I found myself enjoying more of the purple hoser. I feel like he doesn't get enough light, but we need to remind ourselves that Beardo is still the leader of that group.
They did like the where you have a big glass of water and everyone has to pour a little bit in, and whoever makes it go over loses. And fucking Beardo, like everyone was doing real pours, and Beardo was doing like very little drops, and I was like, "Fuck you, dude." So yeah, I still hate that guy.
Yeah, he's a prick.
But as a whole, Dude Perfect, I find myself seeking out their videos, and I'm jealous of them. They played fucking like real life Call of Duty with paintball guns and balloons strapped to their back. How cool is that?
Yeah, no, they live the dream.
I mean, it's insane.
oddly satisfying.
Like in their office, like they're just shooting hoops all the time.
I still think that they're jackass for youth pastors.
But I'm there because I have a kid. Like, it's just, this is where I'm at. Like, I could see myself going to one of their live shows.
That's what I was about to ask.
I mean, we got invited to go to one of their live shows, but we said
I'm not going to interact with them.
We can't.
It sounds like
No,
they
there's
might be coming on the podcast.
No.
I would have the purple hoser on, and that's it.
There's a difference. I can like them. This is not content. This is fan from afar.
If we were going to have one person from Dude Perfect on, which one would you want
One
on?
of the twins.
No, purple hoser.
One of the twins, and try to break up the twins. If you break up the twins, the whole thing crumbles.
I mean, the funniest, like, that still things I laugh about is that and this was all, like, off the air. We never even talked about it. And I think it was the original Grit Week. It was more me and PFT, I think. We spent, like,
no, I was involved.
A significant amount of time planning how we were going to infiltrate them and break them up.
Yeah, and
it was like we talked about it for a long time.
The twins are definitely
over the course of multiple days.
Correct.
The twins are definitely the key to that situation.
Yeah, the weakness.
I think. Yeah,
and also just getting everyone to be like, I think the conversation was essentially we just need to show up and be like, hey,
we're gonna make burner accounts to tweet at the twins. Be like, dude, you're not getting enough shine as the other twin.
Beardo's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
like because deep down, like they absolutely think that. Like the guy is he's got an aggravating personality that comes through on camera. But
well, let's be real
seek
here.
them out.
Who's your son's favorite?
Let's be real
here.
The
twins, because it's like how do twins work?
The twins.
He has twin girlfriends at school. It's crazy.
The twins.
He does. He's a fucking baller.
They're easy to get to because you can leverage them one of two ways. One way would be to turn the twins against each other, and to be like, oh, Cody is the better twin, the better looking twin.
Yeah.
And then the other way would be to just turn the twins against like those two versus everybody else, because the twins will always have that subtle little psychic connection, and they're the logical choice. If you were to make a spin-off show, you would want the twins.
Yes.
Right? The twins would be the first to get
the twins would be a fun show.
Although the Beardo would fucking insist on crashing it and announcing everything that the twins were doing and just ruin it probably.
I want to fight Beardo's dad.
Yeah, Beardo's dad's the worst.
He's like their agent. I want to fight him. I would fist fight him.
Yeah,
unless he's big.
If
then I'd have
Britney
Billy
Spears' dad was in charge of an entire group under his management, that's what you're getting with Beardo's dad.
But I like them from afar. So what can I say? People change. People evolve. Soften up. Soft cat. That's fine. Billy.
So I've been doing a lot of cooking lately. Cooking at home, buying groceries. And I put in a lot of work to some of these meals. And then I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to post this online. And they just get destroyed.
Yeah, never post pictures of your food online. And if you do, post it in black and white so everyone gets mad at you.
Make a nice breakfast, bacon, eggs, and grits. And I make like...
That was bacon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the most shocking part is Billy's eggs. Billy's eggs are just brown and crispy.
I thought that was a piece of beef jerky.
No, what you do is you put, like I have put milk in my eggs, and then they're like almost like a pancake when you do them. But apparently the nice browning of the outside of the eggs is
not
like
nice.
But it's like better than gooey, icky eggs.
Just learn to eat your eggs like a man.
How?
Did you delete the tweet?
No, it's down there. And then everyone roasted my bolognese, which I thought was pretty scrumptious. Some air fried vegetables. Anyway,
you need to just stick to the basics if you're going to post it online.
I've become a huge air fryer guy.
Oh, air fryer's goated.
Can I just say, like, air fryer, I think everyone has the exact same situation with air fryers. They buy it, they think it's the greatest thing of all time, and then like a month later, you're like, this is kind of annoying.
I got an air fryer, and I never even got that big first step of loving it.
Yeah.
I got it, and I was like, this reheats things decently, but I'd rather just put it in my cast iron pan on the stove, stir it around, reheat it that way.
Yeah, no, I think 90% of people have air fryers, get it. It changes their life for a brief period of time, and then they're like, well, whatever.
Well, are you meal prepping? It's great for meal prepping.
What?
Do I look like
I think
meal
Hank
prep?
and I appreciate it much more.
You guys.
Well, no, Hank's in the honeymoon phase. When did you buy yours?
I've
You've used it?
I used it, never really used it, and then Billy's got me into meal prepping, and now
recently
I'm like,
you started using it.
Yeah.
So you're in the honeymoon phase.
No, but like I bought it.
Call me in a
did
month.
the honeymoon thing. All right, yeah, I will.
Call me in a month.
I will.
All
You know what I
will.
discovered?
Hit me up. You got my number.
Yeah,
You know what I discovered yesterday? Because I was looking at my air fryer. I was thinking about using my air fryer for some meatballs, and I ended up not using it. But I looked at my microwave, and I was like, when did we just start disrespecting the mighty microwave?
Yeah.
The microwave is the best invention maybe of all time.
Yep.
You put something in there, it gets so hot.
Well,
like
you preheat your microwave first.
You preheat the microwave,
Right.
but you put your shit in there, and it gets so hot in like 15 it boils water in 15 seconds, and everybody's just sleeping on it, acting like it's not the coolest thing in your kitchen.
Yeah, I agree.
Microwaves are pretty beat.
All right,
Shut
so
up. You don't know shit about
Really,
microwaves.
That
That's
just
like-
proved how good the microwave
No,
is.
microwaves because
Microwaves are pee.
microwaves like make everything soggy. No,
I've been waiting an hour and a half to get one
Pete
in.
is now dead.
no.
Is
look,
pee cap?
Well, Cap has been dead. P is now dead as well.
So pee's cap.
No, I'm done.
Yeah.
air fryers give a little crisp to it, and that makes it more seem like it's not some nuked piece of meat.
Dude, you can put rice
mean,
in a
yes.
microwave for 15 seconds and your dinner's ready. It's insane.
If you're cooking your steak in a microwave, I agree with you.
Yeah, but
Microwaves
like
are
for meal
goated.
prep. Like if you like meal prep stuff.
Okay,
you
if
have
you're
ready-made
Billy, if
meals,
you're Billy
put it in
football,
a microwave, it's disgusting.
okay, if you live in Billy's house and have
Yeah.
to cook human food for his dog, then use an air fryer. But for the rest of us, microwaves are goated.
Yeah, they are. All right, Jake, wrap us up.
Nothing too crazy. On Sunday, came to the office and I left my fridge cracked open the whole day.
So wait,
It's a killer.
so when you went home, how open was it?
Just cracked open.
So was
Enough to keep everything warm.
So you threw it all out?
Yeah, there wasn't much though.
I feel like Jake's a big throw it out guy once it goes bad.
Yeah.
Is your fridge sad? You give me
How-
sad vibes.
It's like water.
Oh, you're sad. So wait, you threw out the water?
No. But
The water went bad.
How much
What
do you
went
guys
bad?
respect expiration dates on milk?
Milk?
I actually think
Couple days.
I'm woke about expiration dates on milk. I think usually it goes bad before the expiration date.
I just sniff it.
Yeah,
I sniff it. But
Yeah.
I smell
the
it.
other day I made yesterday the expiration date was the 17th, but I didn't want to buy new milk. I just sent it.
You know what's full? You know what's total bullshit? Expiration date on eggs.
Yes.
Eggs last forever.
Yep.
Shut up about expiration date on eggs. Cheese and eggs. Ever.
They're not even expiration dates; they're sell-by dates.
Right.
True.
Yep, that's how they get you. And then
That's
on,
true.
on cheese, even once it starts to get a little bit of mold, that's how like the
Penicillin.
French love their
And that's penicillin, right?
yeah, it actually gets healthier.
Mold.
And if you
And
want
tastier.
if you want the most fresh milk, get it from the back. As someone who used to stock shelves in a grocery store, they put the new milk in the back, so people buy the more recent milk. So if you want to get that super super fresh milk, go to the back.
I just almost said my ice cream store. My grocery store, which is my ice cream store, changed where they have the ice cream, and it fucked my whole week up. It's just in a different spot.
I saw
do it.
Clem
my
tweet
ice
out
cream store.
Briar's
Oh my god,
mint
yes.
chocolate chip Reese's Pieces ice cream. I have to find it.
I saw that.
I
Unreal.
fully realized I just referred to the grocery store as my ice cream store.
I mean, it is, right?
It's where we get the ice cream. All right, numbers. Good luck to everyone's bets. Game of the year over 54.
88.
6.
44, 60 last week. Wednesday's winner out of play.
75.
What happened to Djokovic? Is he,
22.
Is he arrested?
No, he's just not playing.
70.
Oh, Billy. Went off your
Third
huge,
time.
Jaguars like to trip.
like
Fall?
physically or psychologically,
No, they like eat stuff to make them trip.
or like they cross lines and they're like they disrespect you.
Trip wires.
Gotcha. Love you guys.